Copywriting, I feel, is the engine that makes your business go online. So what it does is it conveys who you are, what you do, and how you do it to the audience that finds you online. But what happens is that copy in your business really helps your audience connect to you.
With that said, and I totally agree, how do you think it contributes for business success?
Yeah, so if you're a service-based provider or a product business, copy is going to be the thing that identifies whether or not somebody wants to buy your product or buy your service. There are so many people on the internet, right, selling so many things. So copy is going to be the thing that sets you apart from the masses so that people who are your ideal customer can find you and say, this is who I want to learn from. This is the product I want to buy. This is the deodorant for me. So that drives sales. When you can stand out in the marketplace with great copy and copy that is really in tune with who you are and your voice in the world, it will drive sales and it will help your customers connect with you much faster than if you have copy that is not really representative of who you are in the world and your brand voice. Let's be honest, salespeople get paid a lot of money because they drive business. And I think people are beginning to understand how copywriters are salespeople for you and your business, and how, as creatives, we can come up with angles and opportunities that weren't present in your business before. That said, when you really understand your brand voice, you really understand your voice as a business owner, you have good copy, it's structured, it's succinct, it's creative, you won't need to worry about your competition because your fans will be so loyal to you because you're consistent in your messaging that it will grow exponentially over time.
It's just there, right? Like what you've said earlier, it's embedded in video, visuals, design, even in hardcore sales. It's there. I think copywriting, it could be considered as the heart. I'm excited to know, and I'm sure our listeners and viewers are excited to learn some tips from you.
All right. So number one, if you are just starting out writing copy, the very first thing that I tell people is grab people's attention with one line. Start with one line. If you could work that line to get people's attention to read what comes next, you've done half the heavy lifting because you've grabbed their attention and now they want to know more. That line is going to be the anchor to then what you say next. My good friend Laura Belgrade always says, no one ever got mad for a short email. It's true. Like, it is okay. So that's really what it boils down to. You can have one thing that's going to grab somebody's attention and then a few bullet points of like why it's important, and then a call to action to sign up for your newsletter list or listen to your podcast or whatever you want them to do. That's enough. Start small. Don't feel like you have to be going into this huge long thing every single time that you write something. You just want to start small because that's where the practice is. My next copywriting tip is practice in your text messages, practice in your DMs, and practice with your friends. Be clever in your stuff. So a text message is a great opportunity to practice your copywriting. It's such a great way for me to really practice what grabs people's attention, what keeps them engaged, what gets a fast response, what gets a slow response. I'm paying attention to that in my text messages. What that translates to is it translates to how you communicate with your customers. It translates to how you communicate in your emails. So copy as communication drives professionalism in your business. So number 3 is make sure that you are paying attention to the boring stuff in your business. The boring is your onboarding sequences. The boring is your emails asking for testimonials, making sure that your onboarding sequences for your webinar are working. Your thank you pages are good. Your landing pages are thoughtful. Sales pages will get people in the door, but the rest of it will build your reputation. And if you have a business where it's a product or service, you know that reputation can be made over years, but it can be taken away in one instance. And I want you to pay attention to the boring stuff, because that copy is going to solidify your professional reputation. It's going to build customer relationships. And even though it's boring and you think it's not very useful, it actually is. There's the heart of your business.